Hi, I'm Ree from mummyand4.com. Welcome back to my channel and my decluttering mission series. I am today tackling my youngest daughter's bedroom. In a recent video I tackled Bella's bedroom. She is my elder daughter. I will link that video up here, and you will know that I collected a lot of stuff out of there that doesn't fit Bella anymore. Some of it that fits Zara and is ready to go in her wardrobe, and some of it that needs to be put away for when it does fit her. But her room is such a state and everything is bursting at the seams that I can't put all that stuff in and away until I've decluttered her room. So I'm going for it. I'm really not in the mood to do it and I can't be bothered, but I'm going to do it. So if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. Now I better go and get on with it before I chicken out and change my mind. So these white things on top of Zara's wardrobe are things that I've already put away for her when she's a bit bigger. Her wardrobe's looking a bit crammed. I did do a declutter of the hanging space reasonably recently, but I need to go through that again. All these boxes have had so much stuff just shoved in them. Honestly, I've been bunging stuff in there. This drawer is basically a junk drawer. So that's swimming costumes. That's not too bad. Need to go through it. That's hats. Need to add the rest of the hats from the rest of the room into there. That's knickers. That one was sorted reasonably recently, so that's not too bad. That's muslins from when she was a baby. That's baby grows and vests that she can't wear now because she's potty trained, and those drawers are so wedged I can't even open them. And it's vests that she can't wear because she's potty trained. So all of this has got to come out, and it's been stressing me out for ages. I should have done this a long time ago, but seriously, just haven't got around to it. So yeah, all these vests have got to go, all these beautiful little baby grows. Some of them that I haven't even put on her because I bought them thinking that I wouldn't potty train her just yet. But as soon as they are potty trained, I really feel that onesies and things just are not sensible because they just cannot get to the loo. So what is the point in hanging on to things that I'm not going to use? I would rather pass them on to friends or donate them or whatever. They've got to go because they're just clogging up her room at the moment. As I said in my last video, I'm using these little curver baskets to sort things into kind of categories of where things need to go. And now you can see I'm actually sorting through. These are stickers from my name tags. I mentioned these in my previous video. I use those for labelling up the children's clothes. They are really great. I will link those below actually if you fancy grabbing some of those, but that's what those sticker things were. I must admit, decluttering is something I kind of put off and dread a little bit, partly because it's a bit overwhelming and partly because it makes me really sad, especially doing Zara's stuff, because when she's grown out of things, there's no more babies, and that really does break my heart. So when I come across these things, like these beautiful tiny little baby things, like the hairband that she wore when she was newborn. Look, I'm not getting rid of that. The dolly can have that actually. So I'm being ruthless with most things, but certain things it just really breaks my heart to part with. So I'm trying to be as ruthless as possible. I'm trying to pass on anything that could be useful to someone else without clogging my house full of stuff. But there are one or two things I can't part with. I mean, let me know, how do you feel about decluttering baby stuff? Does it break your heart a little bit? Let me know in the comments if I'm just the only one that gets really emotional over this stuff. You can see here that I am sorting and rolling up tights. So I'm checking the ages on them and checking that they're not too picky and yucky. And if they fit her and they're good enough, I'm rolling them up. I find that's the best way to store them. You can kind of see what you've got a lot better. They don't look all tangled and awful, and it's just easier to find what you're looking for. So yeah, good way to store tights, especially if you're storing them like in a box or within a drawer. And then the rest of these boxes you can see all around, I've just got kind of different categories of things. So the tights box you can see is obviously going to go in the drawer. The bag behind me is stuff for donating, stuff that doesn't fit anymore. And then I would just recommend using this method of having sort of surrounding yourself by different little baskets and putting things in different categories before you just kind of bung things back in the drawer. I always find if I put things straight back in the drawer or something when decluttering, then things don't end up fitting exactly in the place that I've chosen for them. I end up with like either far too much stuff for a certain drawer or not enough stuff to fill it. So I do find it's much easier, where I am being sensible, to put all the stuff that I think will go in the drawers sort of together in a basket, and then when I've got everything sorted into the various baskets, then put it all in the drawers at the end. So as you can see, I wasn't joking, a lot of this stuff is from newborn. Those were newborn nappies that she hasn't worn obviously since she was newborn, that really need to go. Now for sorting bedding, as you know, I like to store bedding sets inside a pillowcase. So you fold up the whole set of bedding, pop it inside the pillowcase, then you can easily find all of the bits that you need without any hassle at all. So next, there you go, those tights are sorted so they can go back in the drawers. Now, this is what I'm talking about, and this is why I brought this up. I'm actually folding these pajamas in the kind of Marie Kondo, Konmari way, folding them into thirds and putting them straight back in the drawer. But inevitably, they won't necessarily live in this drawer, because perhaps I'll need this drawer, which is a slightly larger drawer for something else. But anyway, I'm not taking my own advice here. This is probably why I'm bringing it up, actually, because these pajamas, spoiler alert, did not end up living in that drawer. Right, so now to pull down the stuff that I put aside for Zara. Some of this stuff is newborn stuff that I couldn't bear to part with at the time. I just had to sort of put aside, and I've got to decide which stuff I really am keeping for like a keepsake box, and which stuff, you know, I've got to pass on because I can't keep it all. I am thinking about having a blanket, like a keepsake blanket made out of some of it. Let me know in the comments if you've had that done, or whether you'd recommend it. So this one is all bigger stuff that was Bella's, that didn't fit Zara at the time I put it away. So I need to sort out the stuff that anything that's kind of like 3 to 4 is really not going to fit her yet. She's very, very little. But some of this can go into her wardrobe. So there's nothing worse than sort of finding something that you did want to put on your younger child, but they've grown out of it already because it's been in storage for too long. So by going through things periodically, and then ideally storing them by size as you're putting things away, then you're going to avoid that happening. So this basket I'm emptying out now is all the stuff that was in Bella's wardrobe that I'm putting away for Zara when she's grown into it. So there's loads of school uniform. There's 2 sizes of school uniform here. There's age 3 to 4 and 4 to 5 stuff, all of which Bella has grown out of, and I'm putting away for Zara. As you can see, I've got loads and loads of it. There's summer stuff, there's winter stuff. I'm barely going to have to buy anything at all for Zara for school, because all of this stuff from her sister is still in pretty good nick, to be honest. So that is all going away in the kind of she's not going to need it till she's 3 box, which can then go back on top of the wardrobe, but it's all fitting in a lot neater. Going through these shoes, I found a pair of shoes, ta-da, that Zara can wear now. They're kind of her size at the moment, and the other shoes that she's not yet grown into, and that are all a bit big, are going into the not needed till she's 3 box. So now that can all be zipped up and very heavy, popped back on top of the wardrobe. So now for just clearing up the floor. It was getting very close to bedtime. As much as I like to do everything in one day if I can, sometimes being a mum, it doesn't work out like that. So I just kind of had to scoop it all up, put it in some baskets and deal with it the next day. And it's now the next day, hence why I'm wearing different clothing. So I'm going through a lot more pajamas, some of which have come out of the wash, some of which have come out as Bella's room, as in they're now too small for Bella. I'm trying to figure out what will fit Zara now and what won't fit Zara for a little while. Then going through all this, I'm sort of creating a little knicker drawer for her. Some of these are her potty training pants, which she wears over her normal knickers when we go out and about in case there's an accident, and then she's just kind of got her normal knickers. We've got quite a lot of pairs of normal knickers, because I think when you start potty training it's worth having quite a lot of pairs, in case they have accidents, and then you don't have to panic about getting all the washing done right now this second. Now for the socks, I'd like to store the socks kind of sticking up like this, if you can see what I'm talking about, because again, that's a nice easy way to do it. They might end up all bunged in higgledy-piggledy, but to start with, that's the way to do it. So yeah, just all the stuff's been organised into it's all staying basket. So the it's staying and it's current basket, as opposed to the it needs to be put away or it needs to be donated or thrown out stuff. So all the stuff that's good for Zara now, that was either in there already and fit her or has come from her sister, needs to all go away. So like I said, I would recommend just kind of putting all this stuff in baskets or sections or whatever, because you can see here, I realised the tights were not going to fit in that drawer because there were too many of them, so I've moved all the tights into where the pajamas were. and then I have put the pyjamas into the slightly smaller drawer because there's not quite as many of them as there are tights. So you won't necessarily get things right the first time, but equally, once those things are folded into those lovely little parcels, it's really easy to swap them into another drawer anyway, so it's not really the end of the world. So the drawers in Zara's wardrobe, the bottom one is for coats, only because the hanging space is a bit tight, so I'm folding up coats and I'm folding up skirts. And now you can see I'm just going through, I'm not pulling everything out of her wardrobe like I normally do because I did that quite recently, so I'm just going through and doing a quick check for any bits that don't need to be hung up in there because they're too small. And the dresses that I use for kind of spares, any dresses that come from my sister and are looking a bit tired or a bit sad that I wouldn't put on her first thing in the morning, I fold up and I put in those little cosmetic case bags, and I take them out with us as like potty training. She's had an accident, she needs to put something on spares. So if it stays in the car forever and it doesn't go on it doesn't matter because it's a bit scabby. But basically those dresses, I've got like a section in one of her drawers for dresses that are only to be used for spares, if that makes any sense at all. So this is cot bedding, it's cot-sized bedding. We're not going to need that much longer because the cot is going, so that's being donated. So I'm doing that up so the person that we're sending it on to can know what it is and what it goes with. And then there's just some more bedding that all needs folding and putting away. And like I said, I do like to store the sheets and the duvet covers inside the pillowcase. It's so easy to grab that, and you just grab one kind of ready done set and you know you've got everything that you need. On to Zara's hairband drawer. I do like to organise things in rainbow order. These were just all a big mess, but if I put these I put them like along one of these boxes, and then rather than all being kind of mishmashy, they're kind of held in positions, so they're easy to find and not such a mess really. Just going to show you what I've put in all of these drawers. This top drawer is for hats. Some of them are Bella's and Zara's, so at least the matching ones when I grab their outfits are together. And in here we've got the hairbands, which are kind of along the side of that box in rainbow order. It looks messier than it is, but you know, I think it's okay. I think it's going to be easy to find. I've got hairbrushes in there. I've got ballet shoes, both ones that fit around to grow into in that little box. And then over here I've got these little wooden hearts, which are quite sweet. They've got the days on them, so when I'm feeling super organised, I put Zara's clothes out for the week, including accessories, out on a Sunday, just like I do for the children's uniform as they get older. So in here we have got swimwear, SPF suits, all that kind of thing, and some little pool shoes. That is all together. This drawer is quite empty, and I'm okay with that because it's all right to have space in drawers. In here, these are actually bits of pyjamas that I can't find the other half for. I know they're in the wash, I need to find them. These are dresses that I can grab easily to pop in the bag as spares when we're out and about, in case she has the accident when we are potty training, which, let's face it, is a bit ongoing, isn't it, for a while, even after they've finished potty training. In here we've got socks, both ankle socks and long knee socks. And then in here, this is the pyjamas. They're all folded in pairs, so you can grab one little bundle and you know there's everything that she needs to wear for that night. In here we've got knickers, both the kind of training pants version and the proper normal pants that she wears in the house. And then in here we've got tights, which are all rolled up into these little parcels, so they are really easy to find. Then in Zara's wardrobe, I've thinned it out a little bit and taken out anything that doesn't fit her. But these drawers at the bottom are things I've really tackled because you could barely open these. These were awful. So we've got ballet kit for when she starts the next class, but at least I can find it easily. And 2 dressing gowns, one of which is a hand-me-down from William actually, and one of which she's got that matches his sister. And then in here I've put skirts just to thin out the hanging space a bit. I've decided to put skirts in a kind of folded drawer way, just because they're quite fluffy and they take up quite a lot of width in the hanging space. Coats the same, they were quite bulky in the hanging space, so these 4 coats are now in a drawer rather than really squishing everything in her wardrobe. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. If you would like to watch my latest video, that's just over here, and if you would like to watch more speed cleaning, decluttering, all that good stuff, that's just down here. See you guys soon.